Welcome to Dallas.
Thank you so much.
Have y'all been to Texas before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
I think our very first time in the United States for work was in 1999. We came down for South by Southwest in Austin. That was our first, as a band, that was our first gig, I guess, in the States.
That is awesome. Okay.
So it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. And you guys have been at it for a long time, too, though.
It's just the 90s, yeah. We get
95?
I mean, we started in high school, so, I mean, officially, we don't really feel like our career got real kicking until the 2000s. But we started playing in, like, the usual kind of, like, garage bands, playing in people's basements, making demo tapes at school.
What was the first big break for you guys? Like, you were like, this is it, we're on our way.
I guess our official first big break was Neil Young's manager, Elliot Roberts, and Neil. They brought us down to Austin. We played South by Southwest, and they offered us a record deal. And we were just about to turn 20. So that was like the first real big break. And we'd sort of had the options before us, like go the major label route or take this other route instead. And I think that it was a big break for us in many ways because that was a better path for us. We were so young and we were just getting started. And so we had this really amazing indie label that really nurtured our creative and
it definitely
sort of
legitimized us to our parents as well. Like,
Right.
when they were
yeah, there was that part of it. But it was just really
yeah.
cool. And Neil Young took us out on tour and we, spent a summer opening for him and learning a lot. So I think that summer was when we were like, oh, maybe this isn't just some sort of like weird, hobby that turns into nothing. Like
Right.
It was actually like, oh, maybe this is what we're supposed to do for our living.
Right. Do you guys feel like you were ahead of the game with all this EDM music, like back in the day, working with like Tiesto? Because now it's everything. That's the formula. It seems like nowadays.
Yeah.
Pitbull, Kesha.
We
everybody's
saw a
jumping
lot
on-
of that in Europe. I think you're right. Like there was a little bit of I guess like the wave sort of hit here, a little later. But when we were doing tours in Australia and Japan and Europe and whatever, I mean, everything was constantly sounding very remixed to us because it was just dance music was so popular.
Right.
So I think the first time that we had even considered working with an electronic artist was maybe like 2004. Someone remixed a single we had called "Walking with a Ghost," and I mean, it blew our minds to hear this very like sort of rock acoustic song.
And you guys didn't really like it at
Electronic.
first, though, right?
It wasn't that I didn't like it. I don't think it was like it wasn't the genre of music that we were really tapped into.
It wasn't common at that point. Like now, it doesn't matter what kind of artist you are, you get remixes done. But when that remix got into our hands, we were like, "What is this? Like, who did this?"
It might as well have been like an accordion band or something. Like it just wasn't
Right.
the genre. We were very, very entrenched in like rock music and indie rock music, and the idea that like an electronic music artist was remixing us, it seemed very
huge.
novel. It seemed
But it
very
blew the
like,
doors
yeah.
open for us because, that was when we started to, kind of get into that world and we started working. We worked
Branch
with-
out a little bit.
Yeah, and we worked with Tiesto, which was like a really big step for us because I think that, electronic music has a lot of pop in it, and I think that it made us realize that our voices are very suited to pop, and also that we were really interested in pop music. And I think that it was right around that time where we started to consider that our band was more than just an indie rock band.
Now, I was reading on Wikipedia. Did you actually y'all were called Plunk originally?
Yeah,
True.
And
that was our high school rock
course,
band.
So you can never believe anything.
It's
on
amazing
Wikipedia.
what ends up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, but did you guys really go with the Tegan and Sara route just because there was a lot of Sarahs out at the time? There was Sarah McLachlan and
This
Sarah
is true.
Slean.
Yeah.
These are all true things from Wikipedia. Some of it's truth. Yeah. The Plunk thing was like our high school band, and we really loved punk music, but we didn't have a consistent drummer and bass player, so we thought of ourselves as light punk. So we added the L because we thought that was funny and clever. And then when we started playing around town as a legitimate band, we just went with our names. And like you said, there were a lot of Sarahs. This was a very common name. Tegan wasn't a common name, and so we felt that it would
Help you
name
guys stand out.
it would impress itself on people's memories.
Right. Okay, so you've been in both Canada, U.S. Which one's better on the
Oh, man.
spot?
America's hat. I go with Canada. I mean, I love America, but nothing.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm just curious.
Nothing
it's
feels as
home.
good as
Personal.
home.
We,
Yeah.
we both spend a lot of time in America. We date Americans. We have places in America that we live in part of the year. So we love America. But we're still Canadian. That's our home. That's where our family is. That's where we pay taxes. So we
When I
love
see
it
the
there.
color, when we cross the border and I have to get my colorful money out of the bank machine, I
It's
get
pretty
so
fun,
excited
yeah.
to see it.
Yeah.
Like,
We feel really
know.
lucky. I mean, being from Canada has been such an asset. It's been such a pro for us. We've had incredible support from the government. I mean, most of our music videos were made in part by the Canadian government. We were given
Wow.
tons. Still to this day, we get money to tour internationally. We have a very amazing arts program there that
it's like a really helpful parents.
It really is. The government really is has its finger. It's a cool government, so it gets its finger in the music. So
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I
what up,
feel really
Obama?
proud.
Where you at?
yeah, seriously. I mean, you guys do okay down here. It's fine. You guys are fostering.
Y'all do okay,
You
but
foster lots of
Canada.
good music too. But yeah, Canada really helps. It really helps its artists, which is why I'm so grateful to be from there. So.
Y'all don't say like darn tootin' and all that stuff.
No.
We don't.
Thank goodness. Okay, y'all are on
We
tour
can.
right now. Yeah, thank you.
Says the guy in Texas.
Right, exactly. Well, I've seen Fargo, the movie, and they give the whole northern region a bad name.
It's true. We're a little bit more. We have a little bit less of an accent, I think, because we grew up out west actually. So
Okay.
our accents are a little bit more diluted.
I noticed that.
Less embarrassing.
You guys are on tour with Fun right now?
Yeah.
We are. Love those guys. So amazing.
Really?
Yeah, they're such nice
Is
guys.
the lead singer's mouth as big as it looks
Nate,
in reality? I mean,
he's. You know what? He is there is something almost
Mick
larger
Jagger?
than life about him in videos and whatever. But I have to say, in person, he's fairly. He's a properly proportioned man. He's a good looking guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't go there.
Okay.
This is a fun question. Can y'all twerk?
We can't, but we heard a rumor about you and your twerking abilities.
Oh, you want to see it?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
I want to get your reaction real
We
quick.
do
Let me
wanna
just
see
show you
it.
the video. I
Yes,
was
please.
bored on a Friday night. You know how it goes. I'm in there doing a 5-hour shift.
Yes.
And this is
Wait, you twerked while you? Oh my god.
on the door, too.
Oh my goodness. Look at this.
Wow.
I can't believe you're single.
I am.
Whoa. That's
For
actually
reasons
really,
like that.
That's really good.
That's not bad.
Yeah, at
That
least
is
you
pretty
didn't
good.
light on fire like
Obviously,
that.
you have
Yeah.
a lot of upper arm strength.
Oh, thank you.
I think
It doesn't take much when you've
That's
got your
amazing.
feet on the door. you
That
know?
was a pretty good twerk.
Well, thank you.
I'm into it.
What are your thoughts on Miley Cyrus? I mean, because she's just basically changed the whole game lately. With
Honestly, I think like from a musical standpoint, I mean, especially Wrecking Ball, I mean, she has an incredible voice and she's obviously a very talented performer in a lot of ways. I mean, I think that the media right now, pop music in some ways, the mainstream, etc. I mean, there's this incredible pressure on artists to just, I mean, even on us to some degree, like to just be sexy and win fans over and be out there and like get like create a viral story. I mean, you would be shocked at the things that
you're not
going to
make everybody happy at the end of the day.
No, and so I think she's really young, and I think she's being probably partly coerced into doing probably some crazy
Or
stuff.
maybe she's
but,
not.
but- well,
Maybe she's
and I
not.
don't mean that she doesn't in control of what she's saying. I just mean like I think people around her are probably encouraging her to do this because she just sold like 20 million singles or something. So it's obviously working. I think that at the end of the day, though, it is about the quality of the music, and I think specifically this new single "Wrecking Ball" is absolutely beautiful, and I think
It is a good song.
It's a very well written.
I just don't know why she's naked and licking a sledgehammer.
I don't know, but you know what? Here's the
awesome,
question: is
but-
maybe we shouldn't be asking Miley Cyrus that. Maybe we should be asking the 50 million people who viewed the video because
Exactly.
she's naked licking a wrecking ball because that's apparently what
It
people
worked.
want.
Also, too, I have this question. We were talking about this backstage the other night because I had the same response. Like, but I love the song. I think everything around the image right now and all of the sort of debauchery is a little bit like I'm like a
Sarah's old.
33-year-old Canadian. I'm very square. Like
Right.
all of it seems really upsetting to me. But I love the music, and so we were talking backstage about how there's when women do things like this video you're describing where she's naked and riding this wrecking ball. I mean, I couldn't even watch the video. I was so embarrassed. Like I got so uncomfortable right away. But I was thinking about how when dudes do that, like I was very specifically we were talking about oh my god, why is his name just suddenly D'Angelo? Thank you. We were having this conversation about his video. Do you remember his very famous video where he's
Naked.
just naked
Yeah.
from the waist up, and over the course of the video he starts sweating and his muscles get all big?
I don't think I made it that far.
People, wait, maybe it was you're not the intended demographic,
I'm not at
sir.
all.
But
I don't think-
but
I'm
yeah.
just- I know
Well, there
about
also
it.
wasn't
You're
as
right.
much controversy.
No,
Yeah,
it was
right.
crazy because it was him. It was like, wow, he's so sculpted and beautiful. But
Yeah.
he was
Pretty good
using
video.
he was using his tremendous body to sell, videos and songs and whatever. And I have the same feeling about Miley Cyrus. I mean, I'm sort of in awe of like this youthfulness and this like complete like sort of like I don't know, this crazy confidence that she has right now about her.
Sarah,
her-
get
her
on a
look.
wrecking ball. Help
I
us
would-
sell some records.
No
Yeah,
one.
Jeez, that's what this
If
is
I
turned
got on a
into.
Can't get her to
wrecking
do
ball,
anything.
if I got on a wrecking ball in my underwear, you would never hear from me again. Like I would be a leather. I would be.
This
I
is
would
where I should
living
say,
out
get
in a-
Tegan and Sarah's Closer on iTunes.
Oh my
We
goodness.
got
Yes,
so far into Miley
please.
Cyrus here.
I
Yeah.
would like speaking of Closer, when we shot the video for Closer, I wanted to wear like tights in the video, and I had never even heard of Spanx. Like I mean, like no one is less like in touch with what young people are into than me, probably. So it's like Miley Cyrus swinging around on a wrecking ball is probably very hip. It's very strange
Yeah,
for me.
I didn't know it was hip till I saw it either.
Yeah.
So
Are you going to make a please tell me that next time we come back,
I'll
will
try
have
to
a
make that
video
work out for you.
of you swinging
Swinging
on a
around
wrecking
on a
ball.
I'll get your
Please.
reaction to that too.
Please, Cruz. Okay.
I wouldn't do that to anybody though. So yeah, that's all I have for y'all. But I want to open it up for questions here.
Yeah.
You guys got questions? Just raise your hand if you got something you want to say or ask.
Are you still worried about the tarantulas and scorpions in the bathrooms from Austin?
You know what? That was that was so eye opening for me. I think we go to cities and we forget like how like the indigenous insects and wildlife. You know, we forget that they exist. But
You guys have some crazy
there's
stuff down here.
I live
And
in
big too.
Yeah.
Seriously,
really
I live in
big.
Montreal where it's like it's so cold most of the year that there are some scary things, but they just die in the winter. It's just too cold, you know, so they don't have a chance to
They
get
don't
too
have
big.
to get big. Yeah.
I really love Texas though, and we have such a great time every time we go down to Austin for South by Southwest. Like great people, great food. It's just I don't know. It's just like such a welcoming place.
It's an energy. Like if you go to New York City, that's what I explained. If you go to New York
Absolutely.
City, Austin has a vibe about it. As soon as you land, like
Absolutely.
you get off the plane and you know the nightlife. It's just everything about it. I lived there for 5 years.
It's
Yeah.
great.
But it's
such
the
a
rest
cool
of time. I
place.
mean, I feel like sometimes, at least in our industry, Austin gets all the love, but we've had unbelievable shows in Houston and Dallas. We've had a ton of support, you know, and, you know, Texas kind of reminds us a bit of home because we live in Alberta and lots of oil and, you know, kind of like
Right.
lots of politics and
Lots of
Right.
cattle.
a lot of cattle. Yeah.
Right.
But there's
Cowboy
this
hats,
really
too.
amazing fringe alternative and like interesting population that comes out of all of that too. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
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 What are some artists you've always wanted to work with but haven't had the opportunity to yet?
Well, we just performed with Taylor Swift recently.
That
and
was really cool.
I think Sarah and I would probably we'd move anything to work with her. She's just so bright, great, another really amazing writer and just a thoughtful human being, adding a lot of like vulnerability and integrity to pop music right now. So that would probably be a cool one for us.
I go between the stuff that I grew up listening to, like, and imagining now, you know, I don't know, like we grew up listening to like Bruce Springsteen and U2 and Cyndi Lauper and Madonna and all of those types of people. And it seems like that's almost still a different world than what we do. Like, it's so impossible for me to imagine that any of those people like know who we are. For example, like I know Bruce Springsteen knows who we are, and that's like
Because he has a restraining order against us.
basically
The wrong reasons,
it
but-
still feels like I can't even like really completely digest that. It's so strange for me. So I very rarely think about what it would be like to collaborate with those types of people, but I would collaborate with like that sort of like very influential part of my childhood, that music that really changed me. I would love to do stuff. But then I agree with Tegan. What's happening in pop music is so exciting to us. People like Taylor Swift. I always say Alicia Keys. She's probably one of my favorites. I don't know, God, so anybody. We would work with anybody. I feel like we just like the challenge of trying to sort of like fit what we do and the idiosyncrasies of like what our music is about with other people, you know. Yeah. Would you like us to collaborate with someone? Like what would get you really like you would just think, "Oh my God, that's amazing."
I would probably think, what if,
Taylor Swift, yeah.
April did something with Trent Reznor?
Yeah.
Trent Reznor would
That
be
would
so
be cool.
Yeah.
See, he's a great example of somebody too. Like we really were. I mean, that was our heyday when we were teenagers. Was like 9 Inch Nails and Hole and Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana and all of that stuff. And Trent Reznor is a great example of somebody who has been able to sort of like cross into a whole new era of his career. Like I really, really admire people who are able to do it decade after decade after decade. Because I think we would really like to see ourselves have that kind of longevity.
And he looks like a regular dude. I was watching all the build up
looks
for their
amazing.
new tour. Yeah, right.
He looks
But if you
amazing.
ever work with him, just drop your lyrics and leave because he gets so mad.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, just get your
Really?
stuff done and leave because he's so eccentric about
Yeah.
how it's done. I mean, I think
That's cool.
in our careers, like you know, you want to be a perfectionist and stand out.
Sure,
obviously.
yeah.
But he's like on that next level. It seems like I literally was just watching a video on Vivo on 9 Inch Nails and their new tour and stuff, and it was
Yeah.
pretty
Cool.
insane.
He seems to me like he could be cast as like a superhero in a movie or
They
something.
should.
He's ripped. He's such a
Sarah's now
shit.
Trent Reznor's agent. That's
I'm
her
like,
side project.
guys, if anyone's listening,
Any other questions?
sure.
What you got?
Do you guys like Haley's new haircut?
From
Haley
Paramore?
Williams
From Paramore, yeah.
She's
I think
amazing.
I'm really excited. I was in Los Angeles right after the Teen Choice Awards or whatever she did, right when she cut her hair like to here. And inside I was like, just do it, keep going. So it keeps getting shorter and shorter. As short haircut ambassadors, we're very much encouraging of people who want to liberate themselves from long hair for a while. When we were kids, we had hair down to here for most of our teenage years. And in my senior year of high school, I finally like chopped it off to like right here. And it was, I was like 2 inches taller, you know? I just felt like it just really,
Liberating.
Whole
But
new
you didn't have
world.
to slouch as much with your hair.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I
just
like-
like, you know, messy and always in my face, and then I got rid of it, and I just feel like my whole world changed.
People
so.
cut their hair down here because of the heat. I mean,
Right.
literally,
Yeah.
girls cut their hair off because the hair gets too hot.
I
Oh,
can
shit.
imagine
Do
it
that.
is bloody hot out there. So, but we're really huge fans of Paramore. Love that new record. We're doing a cruise with Paramore in March, I think it is. Yeah,
Paramore.
Parahoy, yeah, we're really, really excited.
We were just looking at pictures of the cruise, like the cabins that you can go. I've never been on a cruise before, so this is all very new to me.
Yeah.
And so the idea that we're going with these like Paramore are lovely. We've toured with them, and so I'm getting really excited.
Sarah's having a
for the
bathing
cruise.
suit.
I'm gonna
like,
get a bathing
made.
suit made. I'm like Rihanna now. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
I'm gonna have hair extensions and like a bathing suit, and it's gonna be amazing. Watch out, Instagram. See, I'm telling you, the wrecking ball video of Sarah, like, and the wrecking ball, is gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
You guys, I'm gonna drink too much on the Parahoy cruise, and I'm just gonna do a wrecking ball,
But on a life.
homage. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Do y'all still party pretty crazy? I mean, I know
No.
that I've settled down a lot in my 30s and 20s when I was in Austin, actually. I mean, it was just balls to the wall partying all the time.
I think we still like to have a good time, but honestly, when we're on the road, I think, well, first of all, they just keep us very busy. They being like a group of people that we won't name, but like I just feel like we're always really busy. But the other thing is that the older we get, the more we feel responsible for putting on a great show and respecting our audience. And I think it would be really disrespectful to be going on late, going on drunk, like not putting on a great show. So we just don't have the time to party. It feels like
the way that we party now looks really different than, when we were in our 20s.
Right.
I mean,
Scrabble and a bottle of wine. and-
yeah, like
Pass out.
I wake up and
Crazy.
say, "Oh my god, we partied so much last night." If I like stay up too late and like had a pizza because I had too many drinks,
Right.
it's like I don't know that we're exactly like the. I always feel like we put ourselves down for that. Like the industry is very much about this sort of like this like networking and meeting people and going out and being really social, and I think we come off as very like chatty and easy and all of that, but I'm actually really shy, and I would much prefer to like go have dinner with friends. And but Tegan keeps claiming that she doesn't drink that much and never is hungover, but like I admit, like at least once a week I wake up and think like I'm never drinking again.
You wake up, you don't know where you are.
That I do. I do
bad
not black
sign.
out. I don't black out. But I definitely feel like I don't think it's that I drink more than I ever did. I think now having like sharing half a bottle of wine with somebody, like I feel it in the morning, and that's definitely age for sure.
Yeah. Any other
Yeah.
questions real quick?
Sure.
Y'all weren't, amazingly popular artists. What would y'all have been? What would y'all think behind your career?
I'm so grateful that I didn't have to choose at 17 because I don't know that I fully understood, what would best like work for me. And I think now if Tegan and I, if our career, I think inevitably there's a plateau stage and, you fall off and you have to figure something else out. And I think we now understand.
dark.
I'm just being realist, but like I think that now we understand what we're good at, and I think we understand what we like. And I probably never would have said like I wanted to get into like business, for example. At 17, I would have been like, I want to be a social worker or whatever. But now I understand that the part that I love the most about making music is the music part, and then the business that goes with trying to get our music out there. So I would probably, if I wasn't doing this now, I would find some way to be involved in business. I like being a leader. I like having people work for
Sarah's
me.
a boss.
I like being bossed up. Yeah, I do.
I went to college for everything but radio. which
Really?
is what's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, I did the business and the marketing and all that stuff. My dad was in the business and was like, you're never gonna make it. It's blah blah blah. He actually voted against it most of the time. So
I think it's I
it
mean,
was fun to show him up.
Yeah.
I think that's the
And then
thing.
you
Is I
ended
think
up
as
where
you
you
get
needed to
older,
be.
you
Right.
figure out
Yeah.
where you belong. Like I think we get asked a lot. We get a lot of young people coming up who want to be artists, who want to be musicians, asking for advice, and we get a lot of parents standing behind them, being like you, giving us the like discourage them.
Right.
But I think that when you're young, you have the energy and the
And the
ambition
drive.
and the drive, and I think that going after whatever it is that you love, then you should. But you have to be willing to put everything behind it. And I think for us, we were very ambitious. We were willing to compromise like our comfort and our safety a lot of the time, and we were willing to do anything to play music. And I think when I think about our future without music, it is hard to imagine what we would do. But I think whatever we would do it with a lot of integrity. And I think we would still probably be us. Like we'd still probably be very ambitious and hungry to succeed. And we both are bosses. I mean, we would never work for anyone else. I don't know how we would do it. If anyone tried to tell me what to do, I would just get fired because I would be like.
All right, I think that's it, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
us.
Thank
and
you
thanks
guys
come
for
to
coming
Texas.
down. Thanks for the
Seriously, so
support.
cool.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.